So one way that we deal with conflict is sometimes we have an escape response. So there's kind of two ways to look at that. One way is just totally denying the conflict. So if there's something that happens in your life, or maybe a friend says something about you and you find out from somebody else or whatever, um, denying the conflict would be trying to pretend like everything is okay, even though deep down you still kind of have resentment or bitterness towards somebody else. Um, and maybe you even have a temptation to believe that conflict is bad. And so you want to try to avoid conflict at all costs. And you're willing to try to postpone your feelings or push away your feelings or push them down, pretend like they're not there, pretend like there's no conflict, because it's better to pretend like everything's okay than to actually deal with the conflict. And so you avoid having any kind of resolution or trying to confront someone. So that's one way, is in the escape kind of category, is denying conflict. The second one is within the escape response. So you have denying. The other one is flight. Flight is basically physically, emotionally separating yourself from the conflict. So if there's conflict, kind of the extremes of this would be leaving the vicinity. If there's a conflict going on in front of you, you just kind of withdraw and you actually just get up and walk away. Maybe you've done that yourself, or maybe you've seen someone actually do that. Um, to the extreme would be just totally like ending friendship or not messaging somebody back and never talking to them again. Some of the extremes that we see that end in conflict, maybe even filing for a divorce or changing churches or quitting a job, just leaving the conflict if there is a conflict and just fleeing from it. Now, within the escape realm or this category, there is some good to it, in the sense of sometimes in conflict we need to pause, remove ourselves from the conflict so that we can gain perspective. However, that is different than just trying to escape the conflict altogether. Um, to bring ourselves out so that we can come to our senses, think through everything so that we can come back into the situation. We need to communicate to somebody, hey, let's try and talk about this in person at another time. Right now, I just need to think through my thoughts. That's a good thing, but sometimes the escape category is denying, pretending things okay, or fleeing, just getting away, withdrawing, and keeping to ourselves, and never actually having any desire to deal with the situation. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever felt like this? Or maybe a lot of it happens on social media or through texting, and so you just leave people on read, or you just don't deal with it, or you don't talk to them back. Um, so talk about it in your small group. Have you ever dealt with or seen someone deal with a conflict in the escape category, denying or fleeing? And this is different than overlooking a conflict. So we'll talk about overlooking conflict in two more videos from now. All right? So talk about that with your small group.